Hi everybody, I'm Zilla Blitz, and I'm currently at Noble Knight headquarters, their world headquarters in Fitchburg, Wisconsin. I'm joined by Dan Leeder, who is the vice president and part owner of Noble Knight. Just had a magnificent tour of the facilities and all the warehouse, and I'm absolutely in awe. Thanks so much for joining here and joining on the channel.
Thank you for coming, and thank you for being such a steward of the wargaming community. And a great partner.
Yeah, so happy to do this, and it's been such a pleasure to spend this time here today too. So what we're going to do in this interview is kind of talk a little bit about the store, and I'm going to ask you some different questions and things like that, and let's just jump right in and get started. I know the store has a long tradition. Could you tell a little bit about the people, like how the store started and how it's grown over its history and evolved?
Yeah, absolutely. So my brother Aaron, he's the founder of the company, and he started the company back in 1997, and it started out, it was called Aaron's Out of Print Games.
Okay.
And he was playing D&D in the 90s, and he quickly realized that some of these RPG books would go out of print, and then they were worth some money. And so he would go around and he would go to local bookstores and game stores, and he'd buy the books that went out of print, and he'd sell them on his simple AOL.com website called Aaron's Out of Print Games. And it just started as one bookshelf, and then it grew to an entire bookshelf, an entire room, and then it was an entire house full of games. And as he went, he expanded into war games and miniatures and other product lines. And yeah, it just kind of grew from that. It was one employee for a number of years, Aaron. And then he added a second employee to help him pick and pack orders, and just kind of grew from there. It was located in Janesville, Wisconsin for a number of years, and then just kept growing, and then about 6-7 years ago we moved up to Madison, and here we are.
And now we were talking about, we walked through the warehouse, which is absolutely massive and amazing to hear about the system that's used and things like that too. Roughly, how many items are in the inventory?
So there's about a million items. That includes everything from board games to books to hundreds of thousands of magic cards and collectible miniature games. But yeah, about a million total items.
And then in terms of employees and things like that, people oftentimes they think maybe there's 5 people here, but it's not that anymore, right?
Yeah, we're at about 90 employees now. So we've got a couple shifts that work 24/7. Everything from folks that catalog and curate games, put them up for sale, to customer service, our trades team, our warehouse team, our store staff. And so we've got a number of different departments, and yeah, we're entering games for sale and picking and packing orders 7 days a week.
Yeah. One of the things that impressed me too is you have people who are specialists in certain types and categories of games and products, and they have this amazing amount of knowledge in their head that when they get something, they know exactly where it is and what it's from and what edition it is and things like that.
Absolutely, yeah. Across all the categories, we've got people that specialize in dice, right? So we'll get in some super rare dice, and we've got a couple people that know dice.
You have dice specialists.
Yeah, and then we've got folks that know historical miniatures and fantasy miniatures and RPGs, D&D, right? So we have all sorts of specialists in the building.
Right. And I know we had a chance to talk to a couple of the staff here too. And one of the things, you've been a sponsor now. We've had a sponsorship arrangement for about 8 months or so now. And one of the things that led me to being interested in it was I purchased a number of orders before becoming a sponsor, and I was incredibly happy with the customer service. And I had a problem with one order, and you guys fixed it right away. No questions asked. You sent me a shipping label, I put a shipment, and you just printed it right out and sent it right off. It was perfect. And so one of the things we're talking about is this specialization on customer service and making sure that people respect the service and all these kinds of get good service as they go through. Do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, absolutely. I think Noble Knight has some pillars that we're built on, and one of those pillars that is the foundation of the business is excellent customer service. And so I was telling you earlier that we're not perfect. We make mistakes. We'll grade a game wrong or that, but what we will do is we'll make it right. And so if we send you a game that's missing a piece, or send you the wrong game or something, we're going to make it right. So we'll get you a refund, or get you your piece, or get you a new game. And so yeah, we really stand by our customer service. We do a really good job. We're 99% accurate, but those times that we do make a mistake, we stand by it and we get it fixed.
And one of the other things I appreciate as a wargamer is wargamers in itself is a niche hobby. It's a niche part of your wargaming. A lot of places don't cover or aren't interested in wargames, but you have new and used war games. And also one thing that I kind of probably want to talk about is international. Like a lot of places don't want to bother with international service. And as we're meeting right now, it's the first day of your international sale.
Yeah, we have an international free shipping sale that started today, and so we're shipping. We've got free shipping levels that are different depending on where in the world. So like in Canada, it's $2.99 US dollars. You can get a free order to Canada, but we ship to Australia and New Zealand for $3.99, for example. And so yeah, that just started. So yeah, we have customers all over the world, and then we import games from all over the world too. So we're buying games from companies all over the world. So in the Wargame space, for example, Australian Design Group in Australia, and VUCA Simulations over in Europe. And so yeah, we love to import our games. That's how we've gotten to have the largest selection of games in the world.
Yeah. So one of the things I've always appreciated about Noble Knight Games is that, especially as a wargamer, there's a lot of games that are hard to find new. They're used, they're out of print and stuff like that. And I know that's been a big side of your business. Do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, so our buy sell trade program is one of the ways that we got the largest selection of games in the world. It's because customers are playing their games and they want to move on, they want to play something else, or maybe they've gotten to a different point in their life where they want to downsize their collection. And so rather than going out on eBay and listing every single item and taking photos and putting a description back and having to deal with the customer service, they send us a list, or they snap some pictures of their collection, and then we give them a quote and we send free shipping labels out, and we buy their games from them. And you can either get cash or store credit for your games. And so yeah, our buy sell trade program is something I'm proud of as well. I think it offers a unique service to our customers, and it's how we got to have so many games in our inventory, is that buy sell trade program.
Fantastic.
So it's fun to provide a new home for those games too.
Right.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times they're just sitting there not doing anything, and people get them in other people's hands so they can have fun with them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And are you the largest game store in the world?
So we use the tagline that says the world's largest selection of games.
Okay.
We don't claim to be the largest game store in the
Okay.
world, but we do have the world's largest
The
selection.
world's largest selection.
Yeah.
Yeah, got it. Okay.
Yeah.
So I have a couple of gaming questions for you.
Sure.
Okay. And I know you play board games, and you don't necessarily play a lot of war games yet.
I do not.
The players Aid were here, and they tried to convert you a little bit,
did.
and it worked a little bit.
Yeah.
But
I play a lot of more straightforward, simple games. I'm not playing a lot of ones with depth.
Oh, but
I don't
that's
play
fine
war
too.
games or
Yeah,
anything
that's
either.
fine though
So,
too. And I don't
okay.
think they're expecting you to play war games and things like that too.
Yeah,
So I just I think that's kind of, and a lot of the thing about war gamers is they play a lot of other games too.
That's fair.
Right.
Yeah,
So
sure.
a lot of times they're not usually one dimension. I mean, some people are.
I would love to play war games. I'm actually big into military history. Like I absolutely love learning. I'll go down a rabbit hole at night just reading about.
Oh my gosh! Yeah.
The Battle of Dresden or something, and I'll just go down this rabbit hole, learn every single thing about it.
Yeah.
So I would love to play them. I get home and I'm just like, I don't have time for the.
That's kind of thing that we were talking about too, with like the learning curve and things like that. There's like a cognitive load to war games where you're here and you want to play, and then you've got to learn the rules and get the rules in, and that's here, and that space in between takes energy and effort.
That's why I
work. Yeah.
Like one thing that was nice about when, and I know you would do it too. But when Players Aid guys were here, they just quickly explained the game. We were off and running, right? I didn't have to read the rule book.
Right. Well, maybe next time you come down, we can play a war game.
Yeah,
for
sounds
sure.
good.
Yeah, that would be great.
Yeah.
Okay, but I have a couple of gaming questions for you.
Sure.
Okay. So our first question is: a person walks into the store, okay, and they ask you a question. They say, "I've never played a board game before in my life."
Sure.
You've got 2 hours to get a board game, teach it to me, play the game, and if I like the game, I'll give you $5 million.
Oh my goodness.
What game do you play, and why?
Oof, that's a tough one. So that's interesting because a lot of the games I like are shorter games.
Okay.
So
we're in the wheelhouse to a certain degree.
Yeah. So some of my favorite games.
And you can put up some candidates too.
Sure. So I got a 12 and a 14-year-old at home. So we play a lot of gateway games. So Splendor, for example.
Okay.
It's a very competitive game, pretty simple, kind of a deck building game.
Okay.
So we play that a lot. So that'd be one I would teach. It's pretty easy to learn. You can learn that in 5 minutes. Another deck, I like a lot of deck builders. So another deck builder I like is Star Realms.
Okay.
Again, another game that you can teach for in a very short amount of time.
Right.
It's really fun, really competitive. So yeah, I think that's as far as games. I like competitive games, kind of short to the point. I've got a pretty. I'm using my mind all day on problems. When I come home playing games, I usually want some of the ones that I can play quicker.
Play fast, And you play a lot with your kids too.
I do. Yeah.
Okay. Great.
Yeah.
Okay. I got one more game question for you then. So we got Splendor and Star Realms.
Yep.
Those may be the two that you go with. Okay. Similar type of game. you have been sent. This is when I asked on the Wargaming channel a little while ago too. So it doesn't have to be a wargame, but the question is, so you're getting sent off to a desert island for the rest of your life.
Oh boy.
Okay, and you can take 3 of your favorite board gaming friends with you, your kids or whatever you'd like to take.
Okay.
So, and inside your suitcase you can only put 1 game. No expansions and all that stuff like that. I mean, it's just 1 game in your suitcase. So you got to play this game for the rest of your life. It's the only game you're going to play.
Oh my goodness.
So it's a different question than your favorite game, right? So, because it's got to have depth.
Sure.
What would you bring?
Oh boy. Maybe Clank.
Clank.
I like Clank a lot. Yeah.
Okay.
It's a fun game. It's different every time.
Okay.
So
I'm not familiar with Clank. What's Clank?
It's another deck builder.
Okay. So you like deck builders?
I do like deck building
Okay.
games. Yeah. Yeah, I play a lot of those with my kids.
And did you play a lot of Magic then too, or?
I don't. I haven't got into Magic, to be honest.
Okay.
So
Is
that's one
it
deck
too
builder
much, or is it?
I don't know what it is. I've just never really gotten into Magic before. But,
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So Clank is the game you take
Probably.
on the desert.
Yeah.
Okay. Can you talk a little bit about your job?
Sure.
The best part of your job.
The best part of my job is that doing something different every day.
Okay.
And so, you know, I'm working with a vendor on implementing new software.
Yeah.
The next day, we have a process that's just clunky and needs to be reworked. And so
Right.
I'm working with the team to figure out how to fix that process. The next day, I'm interviewing someone.
Okay.
I'm doing a video like I am today.
Right,
So
right,
it's just
yeah.
something new every single day,
Yeah.
and it's just a lot of fun.
Okay. Related to that, I have a follow-up question too. So it's been 26, 27 years?
27 years.
27 years now, and you've been with the company for most of that time. You moved from industry
I've been,
before.
Yeah, so I worked in corporate America for
Okay.
about 15 years. So I just joined Noble Knight about 8 years ago.
Oh, okay.
So
Okay.
my brother Aaron ran the company hands-on for a number of years, about 20 years or so.
Right.
And, he was ready to take a step back, and so I was tired of traveling all over the world and
Right.
doing system implementations and being up at 3 in the morning dealing with IT problems. And so I decided to come run Noble Knight Games.
Okay. So I'm going to follow that question.
Sure.
So it's been 7, 8 years now. Thinking back over the time that you've been here, what gives you the most satisfaction?
Whew. Probably this building. I think we've done a great job of coming into a community that loves games. Madison is a big gaming community, and we've built a really special community up here in Madison. People spend this game room that we have up here in Madison is full every single night, every single weekend. We do events, hundreds of people show up, and it's pretty special. So I think that's something I'm really proud of.
Yeah. And that's one thing I've noticed too, just like with the videos and see the comments on there, is how many people say, "Oh, I love the store. I go there all the time, and I play there. And it's just amazing. I love their service and things like that."
Yeah.
So I could say, and if you haven't been here, you should come, because it is. I think of game stores. Most game stores, I think of, it's a very small space, and they've got and you come here, and this is massive. I mean, it's beyond big, and the warehouse is, I'm not going to use the Indiana Jones lines, but I guess I just did, right? So it's too late now, but it's absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
So it's amazing what you've done here.
Yeah.
And it's an expanding universe, right?
It is, yeah. The industry's been growing, and we've been growing right alongside with it. And
Right.
yeah.
Well, thank you so much
Yeah.
for the time, and thank you for joining. It's been a pleasure meeting you, and thank
absolutely.
you for the tour as
Thank
well.
you for coming, and thanks again for being such a great partner and
Absolutely.
for Champion Wargames.
Yeah,
So,
thank you.
yeah.
Thanks, everybody. Bye.